Hey guys, it's NW Order for Life, making another video, and today I want to talk about the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This video is going to be me explaining not about the timeline placement specifically, but more about how it could explain the Sheikah and the technology in Breath of the Wild. And also, I relate this to Hylia being prevalent in the game. So basically, you see Breath of the Wild, you see these ancient mummified Sheikah that Link goes to in the shrines. They're like in stasis, and as soon as he receives the hero orb from them, or spirit orb, whatever it is, they disintegrate because I guess they're so old they can't stay alive anymore outside of that energy. Um, and then you have the Guardians walking around Hyrule Field, or around the entire world. And these guardians have like this pinkish energy, which is the same kind of energy as Calamity Ganon has around the castle. And then you have the smaller guardians and the shrines. When Link goes to the shrines, they have the blue energy of the Sheikah. So it's pretty much accepted among the Zelda fan base that these guardians with the pink energy that try to kill Link outside, they've been corrupted by Ganon, by Calamity Ganon, and we know that Ganon has corrupted other things in past Zelda games. In Link to the Past, he corrupted like 100+ knights, of Hyrule Castle, like however many knights there were in that game. He corrupted, um, you know, from the Twilight Realm, Zant and Agnahim from Link to the Past, and others. Like Ganon has always corrupted. Like he has that evil, brainwashing, corrupting experience. And Hyrule Warriors isn't canon, but bringing to mind how he corrupted Zia. I think he corrupted her too, right? But in any case, it makes sense that Ganon, what we've seen from past games, that he can corrupt individuals and obviously machinery, right? So it makes perfect sense. And now, so we've got these guardians that represent the Sheikah that are corrupted by Ganon. We've got the Temple of Time in this game, which is the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. The only reason why we think it's not the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time is because there's a statue of Hylia in the temple. But really, that's not enough, in my opinion, to discredit it, because the Temple of Time is in the exact spot that it is in Ocarina of Time. It's in between Castle Town and like where Hyrule Castle used to be. Like if you played Ocarina of Time, to the right you would go to the Temple of Time, and to the left you would go to Hyrule Castle. From in Breath of the Wild, you can actually go down a path in the Temple of Time, and you'll see the ruined Fountain Square that was in Ocarina of Time. It's really crazy. And so you can tell this is the same Temple of Time. So why is there a statue of Hylia there? Why are there Sheikah when the Sheikah are supposed to be extinct? Well, in Ocarina of Time, the Sheikah are like endangered. Like Imp is one of the few left. And in Twilight Princess, which is on the child timeline, they're extinct. As I've seen on YouTube videos, in the Downfall timeline, the Sheikah are prevalent. There are many Sheikah all throughout the Downfall timeline. They're mostly Impa, but they're there. They still exist. And then of course the future timeline, the Sheikah have been nowhere to be found. So it's assumed that they were extinct in the future timeline as well. So, or the adult timeline. And now, so then you think about it. So how does this make sense? How can we have Hylia, who has never been in any Legend of Zelda game except for Skyward Sword? Like, that's the only time she's been mentioned. You would think, like, if they had planned Hylia from the beginning, they would put Hylia, like, they would make, like, one of the NPCs reference it. Like, from Twilight Princess, let's say. In Twilight Princess, there's this character who is a specialist in history. And he like tells you about the city in the sky, and he tells you about all these different things. But he doesn't mention Hylia. He doesn't mention the Hylian people. And Minish Cap, which is like shortly after Skyward Sword, hundreds of years after Skyward Sword, maybe, Minish Cap mentions the tribe of the Wind people. They live in the sky, but they don't mention nothing about Hylia, the goddess Hylia. So what is going on? Why is the goddess Hylia being mentioned in Breath of the Wild? Well, this is what I think. My theory is that Hylia is the goddess of time. Now, if you don't remember what the goddess of time is, the goddess of time was briefly mentioned in Majora's Mask by the citizens of the town, and I think maybe even there might even be another mention of it, but I forget. But the goddess of time is briefly mentioned in Majora's Mask, and in Skyward Sword, Fi mentions that the goddess watches over Link from the edge of time. So, and if you think that's like, you know, oh wait, so you're saying that the goddess of time in Majora's Mask, which is in a parallel universe, is the goddess of time in the original universe? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Hylia is the goddess of time because not only what Fi said, but what Hylia did. Hylia was able to predict when Demise would come back and when he would how she would defeat him. She set up the goddess sword, Fi. She set up her hero being reincarnated to fight him, herself being reincarnated into a mortal so that she could defeat Demise by using the power of the Triforce or whatever. I'm kind of not really 100% on that because like she being immortal doesn't really help her defeat Demise, even though it's said because Link is the one that gets the Triforce, and she's always planned on giving the Triforce to the chosen hero. So I'm more inclined to think that she reincarnated as immortal so that she could be with the hero. But that's my personal opinion, like, you know, a pairing situation where she loved her hero so much that she reincarnated as a human so she could just be with him and live a happy life. That's what I think the real reason why she did it, because I mean, I don't really understand why she would do it otherwise, how it would help her to defeat him, other than, you know, I mean, if she stayed as a goddess, she could have just stayed alive and she could have did, so it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Someone can figure out a counter argument to that. Let me know in the comments. But getting back to the theory, she prepared for Demise. She prepared Fi. She prepared the chosen hero. She foresaw that. She made up a great plan to combat Demise, and she ultimately, as the reincarnation of her mortal self, Zelda from Skyward Sword, she is the one that sets up the royal family, and the royal family, as we know, is the lineage of all the Zeldas in every Zelda game. So obviously, as she sets it up, she had children, and her children carry on the blood of the goddess. But they are not Hylia; they're just descendants of the mortal Hylia. When Hylia became immortal, that's what all the Zeldas in the games are. So now that we got all that straightened out, there's more clues to suggest that Hylia, Zelda, Hylia, that they're related to time. First of all, it's Zelda in Ocarina of Time that teaches Link about the Song of Time. She gives him the Ocarina of Time. The Ocarina of Time itself is made by time shift stones. The time shift stones come from the Temple of Time in Skyward Sword, where the ancient civilization of robots mined the time shift stone and brought them to the Temple of Time. And the Temple of Time was Hylia's original place of work, like where they worshipped her. Like that was Hylia's place. That Temple of Time was her temple. And also they have the sealed grounds that eventually will become the Temple of Time and Ocarina of Time. The sealed grounds, before they were abandoned or whatever, they were also a place to worship Hylia. In both places, there are time gates that go back in time. The first one was blown up by Impa in the Lanayru Desert, and the other time gate in the Sealed Temple, that was intact. And it's my belief that when Rauru built the Temple of Time in that location, he built the pedestal of time and connected the Master Sword to the Gate of Time. Like he made like a whole mechanism attaching itself to the Gate of Time that was in the Sealed Temple. That's exactly where it is. Like where the gate of time is exactly like where the pedestal is located. So it's pretty crazy. But so getting back to the theory now. So let's assume, okay, Zelda has a lot of connections with time, teaching the Song of Time. Hylia supposedly watches Link from the edge of time, according to Phi. There's supposedly a goddess of time in Majora's Mask. You know, what does this all mean? So what it means in relation to Breath of Wild is the Sheikah are ancient, right? And in Breath of the Wild, we see their technology all over the place, and we also see that Link in Breath of the Wild has a Sheikah stone tablet. The Sheikah tablet prepared for him. The slate, isn't that what it is? I think it's a stone slate, right? Yeah, the Sheikah slate prepared for him, and he also has like Zelda reaching out to him, which we believe is Zelda telepathically and everything. So I'm thinking that, and remember, we see in Breath of the Wild, guardians frozen outside of the Temple of Time attacking the temple, but the temple remains intact, right? So I'm thinking that Hylia, being the goddess of time, from before Skyward Sword, foresaw Calamity Ganon, and I'm thinking that she sent the Sheikah forces into the future, and then she sent, and when the Sheikah came through the time gate, they told the current Zelda, they told the royal kingdom, they told everybody about Hylia, and so Hylia once again became a goddess to be worshipped in Hyrulean culture, or Hylian culture, in all of Hyrule. So now you have explanations as to why there are statues of Hylia's crest with just the wings, why there are symbols of the royal family crest, on the buildings as well, and why there's a statue of Hylia in the Temple of Time. Think that the Temple of Time is a time gate, and Hylia could have, this is a theory, could have sent the Sheikah through the Temple of Time. And the Sheikah, once there, they could have brought over the Guardians as a force to fight Calamity Ganon. Or maybe before he became Calamity Ganon, he was something else. I don't know. Just regular Ganon. The Guardians are there because the Sheikah brought them, because the technology just doesn't exist. I mean, look at Ocarina of Time. It's medieval age technology. The farthest it ever goes is Spirit Tracks on the adult timeline with steam technology. Every other amazing technological thing in the Zelda series is from the ancient civilization. In the Tower of Gods and the Wind Waker, all that technology is way, way before Ocarina of Time, probably before Skyward Sword. In Twilight Princess, all the great technology is from the people in the sky, from long before Twilight Princess, probably before Skyward Sword, or maybe it's shortly after Skyward Sword. And of course, in Skyward Sword, all the technology is from the civilization that used to be on the surface long before Demise destroyed it. So there's a theme here, and the theme is that in the past, you have amazing technology. In the present, you have medieval technology. Look at Twilight Prince. They lived in Ordon Village, a straw village. Straw village, but just a village. Yeah, well, our houses probably did have some straw in them or something, or whatever. It's a very nature Amish style kind of life where they don't have any electronics or nothing like that. All they have is ranching and food and water and friendship, and that's about all they got. Maybe games they play are like soccer or like shooting with slingshots. They don't have nothing. And Hyrule Castle is no different. Hyrule Castle has statues. They have plazas. They don't have technology. They don't have anything. The most technology we've ever seen, I think, is from Beetle in terms of like shop owners, where he like has mechanism where he pedals to like fly and stuff. And that was in Wind Waker. I believe, does he fly in Wind Waker, or does he have a boat? I think he has boats in Wind Waker. He flies in Skyward Sword. But yeah, like that's the extent of the technology like that people have. They have nothing. If you look in Twilight Princess in the Temple of Time dungeon, there's all this technology that definitely has nothing to do with Twilight Princess Link's era. It has nothing to do with that. It's from way before Ocarina of Time, probably around Skyward Sword, probably a little after Skyward Sword. It's from that era of chaos, either right next to Skyward Sword or before Skyward Sword. That's where all this technology is coming from. And it's no different in Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, this technology is coming from the ancient past. And you have ancient Sheikah, mummified Sheikah in stasis, whatever, that prove it. That prove that the technology is linked to them. So I think Hylia probably froze them in stasis in the beginning and kept them underground and for the time to emerge where they would help Link to defeat Ganon, Calamity Ganon, or before that. And maybe this was a plan for Link 100 years ago before he got killed or before he got before he was defeated or whatever, and put in that regeneration chamber or that revival chamber, whatever it is. If it was before that and Hylia's plan went wrong, that could explain why the Guardians were able to be corrupted, because Link was defeated. So, Ganon was able to focus all his attention on the Sheikah and the Guardians. He probably wiped most of the Sheikah out, and he probably corrupted all the Guardians. But the ones in the stasis, what are they called? The ruins, for Link, they purposely set up to help Link defeat Ganon, and so is the Sheikah Slate. So I'm thinking that, they pop up, the Sheikah Slate is there, all prepared by Hylia for Link in Breath of the Wild to defeat Calamity Ganon. And that's what I think is going on right now. I think the Guardians are frozen outside of the Temple of Time because they were trying to attack the Temple of Time. And I think that, just like in the Wind Waker, if you remember the Wind Waker, Hyrule Castle has everything frozen. The Master Sword shows its power to freeze time. I think that if the Master Sword, either the Master Sword is involved or Hylia herself is involved, the Temple of Time, some kind of power over there is involved, that's what's freezing these Guardians into place. Because someone brought up on YouTube that there's, and I've watched tons of theory videos and I forget who these people are, but they brought up that the Guardians, it might have been Zelda, I don't know, but they brought up that the Guardians are frozen stone, and then yet, like in this other picture from this trailer or whatever, the Guardian looks like it's like brand new. So does that mean that Breath of the Wild Link will travel back and forth through time? Does that mean that some kind of time barrier will break and that the Guardians will be restored from being frozen in time? I don't know. But what it does mean, I think, is it shows that the Guardians are going to play a much bigger part in the game than just, fighting one or two of them. Like, they're going to be, I think, a big aspect of the story. And that's why they're frozen outside the Temple of Time. So in my opinion, Hylia prepared everything. She opened a portal in the Temple of Time. The Sheikah came through with their Guardians. And they reestablished the religion of Hylia in Hyrule. The current Princess Zelda was told all about. Because remember, no matter which timeline this is, whether it's Twilight Princess, whether it's Wind Waker, or whether it's Downfall timeline, none of the Zeldas, nobody know who Hylia is. So this would explain why these people know who Hylia is, why there are statues of her and legends about her, and there's a statue. And I think the statue in the Temple of Time of Hylia was just put there, built there shortly after the Sheikah arrived to honor her, and simple as that. So that's what I think. I think this theory explains why Hylia is revered, why everyone knows about her, why the Guardians and the Sheikah can all be in this era where there is no technology, not from Ocarina of Time, not from Twilight Princess. There should be no technology. All the future technology comes from the past, and so the only way for me to explain how the past technology is in the current present is by I don't believe the Guardians woke up out of the ground and popped up out of the ground. I don't think that makes any sense, and it's clear there was a war with the Sheikah and with Calamity Ganon, and I believe that Hylia is going to be the one revealed to, at least, maybe not, I feel pretty strong about it, that she sent, not necessarily that she might have sent them through time, that's really more of a theory, but that she had a hand in preparing everything for what was going down with Link and preparing him to fight this Calamity Ganon. But I do really believe that she does have something to do with the Sheikah being there, because Sheikah should be extinct by Ocarina of Time or endangered by Twilight Princess. They're extinct. There's only one person left, Impaz. So yeah, that's my theory in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you food for thought. Please rate the video. For all Zelda fans, some comments in the bottom, timeline discussion. I haven't even discussed the timeline placement because it's so hard to put into place. Personally, I'm leaning towards the downfall timeline. I think that makes the most sense to me after all the videos I've seen. But you know, you can talk about that in the comments below. But just let me know what you think about Hylia possibly being the goddess of time. Hylia uh, having a plan to prepare Link in Breath of the Wild to defeat Ganon with the Sheikah slate and all these mummified Sheikah. Did Hylia bring them through the time gate in the Temple of Time? And did the Sheikah's influence on the on Hyrule, on Princess Zelda, is that the reason why there are statues of Hylia, why there are symbols of her crest and the royal family scattered around? Let me know what you think about my theory. I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks so much. Have a great day.